everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I want to talk about sobriety, forgiveness, and trust, like those three things and how they kind of relate to each other. For me, I've actually been on both sides of this, where I've been the one going through recovery or going into this sober lifestyle and having to ask for forgiveness. But I've also been on the other end where I have been speaking to someone close to me that's been asking for forgiveness. And I don't think it's as simple as sometimes the people are like, oh, just ask forgiveness and they forgive you, great, and then you move on. Like it's something you have to really work at every day. With my sister, she was a user and she hurt my family. And I even remember when she was going through her recovery period, it just this like she would talk to me and I'd be like, I don't even know who you are. Like, who talks like this? Like, why are you talking like this? Like, this is like words that she would never use. And I'm just like, where is this coming from? Anyway, it changes you for sure. It's almost like a Jekyll and Hyde thing. So you're drinking or using of any kind, you're almost a different person. And I don't want people to think that I'm saying that's an excuse, but it kind of relates into what I'm about to kind of talk about. When you're using, you are in this different mindset and you do things that your sober person would not do. So when you're sober and this person that you've hurt is saying, well, you're just gonna do A, B, C, and D again. And you're like, no, I would never do that, because you wouldn't. Your sober person would never do that. But they're thinking like, oh my God, this person has done this, because, it's like I've let them borrow my keys 5 times and every time that they borrowed my keys, they wrecked my car. So I'm going to give them my keys again. It's a different mindset, because now that you're sober and you're clear thinking, you're like, you are you again. You are your true self. And there are lines that you don't cross or things that you wouldn't do. For example, for me, I was very selfish. It was all about me. It didn't matter what lie or whatever bullcrap I had to say so that I could go out and drink. Whatever I needed to say to get there, I would do it. I don't care. I don't care what I had to do. I want to go drink. That was my number one priority. Not my family, not my friends, not my relationships, not my job, drinking. So whatever I needed to do that, that's what I was going to do. Now, those things that I did to get to the drinking, I wouldn't do, because I have a healthy mindset. And that's kind of what I was referring to in my one video about sober mentality. Like, I have a sober mentality, and my sober mentality wouldn't do those things that my drunk personality would do, my drinking personality would do. And I went through the same thing with my sister, and it's a lot of communication. I remember when we sat down and she had she did her amends with me. We were very open, and it's a very uncomfortable conversation, but I had to be open to it. She could have sat down and apologized till she was blue in the face if I was just kind of like, okay, thanks. And even if I was like that in that moment, that's fine. But I had to participate. And I had to be, go back and forth with her. And it worked for us. When she felt like she was struggling, she knew that she could come to me and I'd be like, listen, you need to call your sponsor. If you feel like you're going to relapse, you need to do this, this, and this. Whatever she needed, I would be there for her, no judgment. And that's the hardest thing is, when you're ashamed, there's a lot of shame that comes with being sober, because it's embarrassing. Some of that, I feel, to this day, I still get reminded of some of my past, and it's so horrifying, embarrassing. Like, people will bring it up about, oh, remember you did this, or well, you did this, so what makes you think you won't change, like that you're changed now? And it's just like they bring it up, and you're just like, I internally cringe. It's just like I get sick to my stomach. I just want to vomit and throw up right there on the floor, because that's not me. My mentality would never do that or think that way, but they can't be in my brain seeing that, so it's hard. And even just sometimes people in the past, I'm like, oh, remember that one time? And I'm just like, yeah, I remember that.
Please never bring it up again. Thanks. Ugh.
Kind of what I was saying though, it is a conversation. You have to be open to it. And sometimes it takes time. Me and my sister, we were to sit down talk openly. I mean, I think I even asked her, I was like, hey, there was a watch that went missing. Did you just sell it for drugs? You know, joking with her. I mean, I was serious, but I was like, I was lighthearted about it. And she was like, no, I didn't take it. And I believed her because I was telling her, listen, I'm going to trust you. You're extending your forgiveness and you're trying to change. Like, I need to like meet you halfway. And I know that's not always easy when someone's apologizes to you 7 times and now they're asking for another chance. It's very hard. And, you know, I went through that. And my boyfriend's mother and me, you know, when we got back together, she wasn't a big fan. Understandably so. That's her only son, and I hurt him. But I couldn't sit there and get upset with her because she didn't want to accept my apology right then and there. I am on her time. And this part is kind of for you people that are going through the amends and you're struggling getting people to really respond to you. If they don't want to talk to you, that's up to them. You cannot be angry with them if they don't want to accept your apology. You're on their time. I was on her time. She was going to forgive me when she was ready. And she did. And we have a really great relationship right now. But it took work both on her side and my side. I couldn't just sit there, you know, I had to ask forgiveness and I had to show her. I just couldn't sit there and say, well, I'm going to change and just kind of still be the same person. I showed her like, listen, I'm not that same person. Let me show you why. Let me show you who I am. Let me show you the real Carly, because the person that you saw was just a really messed up version of me. Let me show you the real me. And she's been able to see that. And we, like I said, we have a beautiful relationship now. One that I'm very, very grateful for. But it was work on both sides. Partly why I wanted to do this video is because I think a very frustrating thing in recovery is when you're going through that apology. And I think I said that already, but you may feel like people are pushing you away. You may feel like you're not getting through to people. And my advice in that situation is just keep doing what you're doing. They may not see it in this today. They may not see it next week. They may not see it in a month, but just be patient and keep going. If you get frustrated and get the kind of like the fuck it's, and you're like, whatever, I'm just gonna go back to what I was doing, you just proved them right. First of all, you just proved them right. But second of all, like, it's not gonna fix anything, and it's on their time to accept your apology. And I had to learn that. It was hard. There was people that I had to sit there and just kind of like, you know, I've apologized so many times over and over. I can't apologize anymore. I just have to let you see the change. You just have to hope they see it. And like I said, I have people in my life who I still feel like I'm trying to prove to them that I'm a different person. You know, I feel like sometimes when they look at me, they still see, you know, the drunk Carly that was this party girl, not this. I got together for the most part, and I do my best, and I wake up every day, I think about my family and my friends and my job and like how I can be better for those people. And I've been sober for 2 years. So it's not something like, you know, you go through your amends, you go through the steps and it's like, woohoo, you're this changed person. It's something I work at every day with the people in my life. It's nonstop. You know, for me and my sister, it was something that we did have to work at for a while before I felt like she was my sister again. And she was honestly, after watching her go through all that, she was probably my biggest inspiration with my journey in sobriety. She walked me through it. Like I was, even though we were kind of different types of addicts, she was still someone that was really amazing to lean on. So community's good. Be patient with them. Be patient. And just trust it. Trust the process and it'll be okay. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, give me a comment, and I'll see you next video.